Wendy Williams was placed under guardianship in 2022 amid her declining health and alcoholism, but instead of improving health, her condition became worse once Wendy's attorney accused her caretaker of neglect. Wendy Williams' condition seemed to have gotten worse after she was placed in a court-ordered guardianship in 2022. The entertainment lawyer revealed in a statement posted to Instagram that Williams was in good health just 2 weeks before she was ordered by the court to move to New York for her guardianship, as evidenced by a video of Williams celebrating her recovery progress with her son Kevin Hunter Jr. But you all might be wondering, what actually happened? Why is this unfolding now? Well, it's because Wendy's supposed guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, only wanted her money and was allegedly poisoning her on the down low. Everyone believed Wendy was just a druggie, and even her ex-husband Bert Girigori exposed her as such. What can we say? This is a tangled web of deceit and betrayal. In this video, you'll get every juicy detail about this shocking saga. Stick around to the end to hear the full story of how Sabrina betrayed Wendy, how her son Kevin Jr. is fighting back, and the truth behind Wendy's alleged drug use. Don't miss a moment of this explosive revelation. Who can forget that time when Wendy Williams straight up collapsed on live TV?
We're doing a Halloween costume contest. We do it every year. It's always a lot of fun. Let's get started. Our first caress.
Girl, that moment was wild. And get this, the same addiction that led to that dramatic fainting spell was the very reason Wendy's first hubby, Bert Girigori, bounced. I gotta admit, Miss Wendy's been real slick trying to make us forget she had a man before Kevin Hunter. But honey, that marriage was messy too. Allegedly, their split was all cause of Wendy's out-of-control addiction. Bert himself spilled all the tea on why he had to dip out of that hot mess of a marriage. So, what did he really say about Wendy's severe addiction that supposedly wrecked their marriage? And why's Wendy acting like that chapter of her life never even happened? I mean, she's been super open about all the drama with Kevin.
You know, infidelity is one thing, a full baby is a whole nother topic.
But why's she keeping all that drama with Bert on the low? Well, maybe because Bert's got so much dirt on her that it practically blew up that first marriage. From what I could dig up on Bert, he's either been or still is a sales and marketing whiz out in Charlotte, North Carolina. And guess what? He's been running the show as president of D2 Marketing, a digital marketing biz, since 2010. So, how'd he meet Wendy? Back when he was working at Kiss FM and Wendy was doing her thing on air, they started kicking it, and those casual hangouts turned into a whole romance. They even tied the knot. But honey, the tea is that tensions, misunderstandings, and fights were popping off left and right. After just 5 months, they started living separately, and by 1995, they called it quits, divorcing after only a year. And ain't it shady that Bert got left out of Wendy's biopic? Like, how you gonna leave out your first hubby in a movie that's supposed to cover your life's major events? In her biopic, Wendy kinda hints at why she won't spill the beans about that first marriage, saying, "Yeah, I'm skipping over my first husband. He was just a rebound after the disaster with Eric B. It was a start, a marriage that lasted 5 months. And frankly, it's not interesting enough to talk about." Well, Wendy might say there's nothing to chat about when it comes to Bert, but girl, there's plenty of tea spilling all over that relationship. The only time Wendy really mentioned Bert was in her autobiography, Wendy's Got the Heat, where she gave him the alias Robert Morris III. She said that while they looked good together, they just weren't built to last. Wendy shared that they clashed over everything from her hair and clothes to the endless club appearances she had to make. And sis, she made it clear she couldn't stand Bert's friends. They were all computer geeks, business execs, and her listeners, always grilling her with questions about celebs. Wendy even wrote in her book that Bert mistreated her, and she painted a vivid picture of their final straw, saying, "The final fight, who knows what it was about, but I do know that homeboy did something that I could never forgive. He spit in my face. I mean, a big hawk that came from down low. And that was the last straw." Also, according to Wendy, after they broke up, Bert started talking all kinds of smack about her. And get this, when he finally hit her with those divorce papers, he asked for alimony to keep up the lifestyle he got used to. Sound familiar? Yup, Wendy went through almost the same drama with Kevin. Well, that's Wendy's side of the story. But Bert? He had a whole different take on why their marriage crashed and burned. When Wendy went to rehab in 2019, Bert spilled the tea in an interview with Radar Online about what really went down during their marriage. This was also around the time Wendy revealed she'd been living in a sober house.
For some time now, and even today and beyond, I have been living in a sober house. I am driven by my 24-hour sober coach back to a home, lights out by 10 p.m. So I go to my room and I stare at the ceiling and I fall asleep to wake up to come back here to see you. So that is my truth.
Remember, before all that, Wendy even passed out on live TV.
That was not a stunt. I'm overheated in my costume and I did pass out. But you know what? I'm a champ and I'm back.
As for what Bert told Radar Online, first off, he denied ever mistreating Wendy and claimed their marriage fell apart because of her addiction and, allegedly, her cheating. He said, "After we broke up, people started calling me up and telling me different things. At that point, it didn't matter. Several people came to me with stories about her being with other people. He actually said that he knew one man Wendy had an affair with who worked in entertainment and media, but he wouldn't reveal his identity since it could impact his relationship with the man's wife. And according to him, the real reason they split was Wendy's wild addiction. Wendy apparently kept that part of her life on the hush-hush while they were dating. Bert said he didn't know anything about her suspected drug use until after they broke up, and then he started putting two and two together. Her erratic behavior finally made sense. According to Bert, Wendy just transformed into a whole different person. That led to a massive breakdown in their relationship, which became super strained. Can you believe that even on their honeymoon, they had a huge fight because Wendy wanted to go out and leave Bert alone? He suspected it was cause of her drug habit. Folks who've been following Wendy for years know that Bert's revelations weren't exactly breaking news. Wendy's been very open about her addiction struggles. In fact, she's shared a lot about her battles with addiction and her recovery journey.
The functioning addict, I report to work on time, and I'd walk in, and all of my coworkers, including my bosses, would know. But instead of firing me, you see, I would grab my headphones and arrogantly walk in the studio and dare them to fire me because I was making ratings.
Unfortunately, with everything happening in her life, Wendy relapsed, and then Wells Fargo even froze her accounts. In January 2022, Wendy's accounts got frozen by Wells Fargo over concerns she was of unsound mind, suspected financial exploitation, dementia, or undue influence. Wendy spoke out about it.
The thing is that I've been asking questions about my money. And when I began asking questions about my money, suddenly Lori Schiller has got no response regarding my money. I want my money. This is not fair. And Wells Fargo has no questions and answers with regarding my money. This is not fair.
In August 2022, she checked into a secret rehab facility for treatment and spent 2 months getting help for severe alcoholism after several public incidents involving alcohol. Allegedly, she never wanted to stop drinking, and folks around her in New York let her keep at it. After 2 months in rehab, Wendy said she felt better than ever. But then, months later, The Sun reported she was admitted to the hospital, released briefly, and then readmitted. A day later, she canceled her appearance at the Atlanta Women's Expo, scheduled for April 6, 2023, making fans worry she wasn't okay. Both Wendy's brother, Tommy, and her son, Kevin Jr., have expressed concern over her health, suggesting she might not be doing better. According to Wendy's first husband, Bert, their marriage ended because of her addiction, but Wendy's version says it was because he mistreated her. So, what's the real tea about Wendy acting like her first husband never existed? Do you think they split because of her addiction or because he was treating her bad? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below.
The thing is that I've been asking questions about my money. And when I began asking questions about my money, suddenly Lori Schiller has got no response regarding my money. I want my money. This is not fair. And Wells Fargo has no questions and answers with regarding my money. This is not fair.
The functioning addict, I report to work on time, and I'd walk in, and all of my coworkers, including my bosses, would know. But instead of firing me, you see, I would grab my headphones and arrogantly walk in the studio and dare them to fire me because I was making ratings.
For some time now, and even today and beyond, I have been living in a sober house. I am driven by my 24-hour sober coach back to a home, lights out by 10 p.m. So I go to my room and I stare at the ceiling and I fall asleep to wake up to come back here to see you. So that is my truth. We're doing a Halloween costume contest. We do it every year. It's always a lot of fun. Let's get started. Our first caress